Hello everyone, this is The Question, and I am back with my reading log for the month of April. This is everything I read in the month of April, just under 40 total volumes. As you can tell here, the main series I read through this month was all of Fruits Basket, collected in these collector's editions, really nice releases from Yen Press. So a bunch of really great stuff. Let's get right into the log. Okay, so the main thing I read through this month was I read through all of the series Fruits Basket. So this is a 23 volume romance slice of life series that was re-released in these 12 collector's editions, with the final volume having a bunch of supplemental material, character descriptions, and other types of interviews. So the series follows Toru, our main orphan girl here, who is a high schooler who is homeless at the start of the series and ends up being taken in by one of her classmates, Yuki, who finds her and brings her back to his house, where he lives with another of their classmates, Kyo, and an older male character, Shiguri. So while staying with them and witnessing a fight between the two, she accidentally stumbles into learning that they are all cursed by spirits of the Chinese zodiac and can turn into that animal. So she promises to keep their secret, and that is basically the setup for the series. Along the way, she meets all the other cursed members of the family and tries to help everybody with their problems. So I don't want to go too much more into the plot of this story, because even though it is a 20-year-old series, I don't want to spoil too much here. But some quick thoughts. I really enjoyed this series. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it, especially the first volume. I was kind of up in the air. I was like, okay, I'm kind of getting a good feel for it, but I didn't know if I was gonna, if it was gonna connect with me the whole way. And I ended up really enjoying it. The slice of life and the supernatural elements that were mixed into it kept me engaged all the way through. All the different members of the family had their own kind of unique attributes. They were fleshed out really well, and they all had really good interactions with our main character, Toru. And even with the end of the story, the cast was fairly large. I felt like it wrapped up nicely. The lead was a great character. She is too nice for her own good, but always trying to do the right thing by everyone. If I had to say some negatives, the artwork was fine in this. It's fairly inconsistent, but it does, in the author notes, it does mention that the artist was going through a medical issue throughout the series. So that kind of affected their drawing. So so there's a valid reason for the inconsistencies, but it never really detracted from my enjoyment of it. I still enjoyed it. Only other thing that was weird is there's a lot of color kind of pictures of the characters on the covers and inside, and the way that the characters are drawn in the actual book, sometimes I didn't even realize those were the same characters, because I expected characters with blonde hair like this. Normally when they're drawn on a manga, their hair is kind of clear, or white, so you don't, to tell that they're blonde-haired characters. And then if they're darker-haired characters, they're usually filled in, so, to tell that they're having brown or black hair. But our lead, her hair is drawn clear, so I assume that she was blonde, and then every time she's drawn with color, she has dark brown hair. So that kind of threw me off a little bit there when I was trying to figure out who these characters were on covers and inside on the various color pages. But yeah, like I said, still a very good series. If you like slice of life manga, definitely check this one out. Slice of life romance, supernatural stuff. Definitely a very good series. After I finished reading it, I immediately ordered some more series by the creator, just because there was some other series. I know I'd heard, I think Colleen recommended Twinkle Stars, I think was on her channel that she had recommended that. So I grabbed that series. I grabbed the sequel series to this and some other works from the creator to check out. But yeah, that was Fruits Basket. Definitely recommended. Give it a shot. I know there's an anime or multiple anime if you want to check it out that way. But really good, and it holds up well for being 20 plus years old. Next up, we have How to Treat Magical Beasts. I read through this complete series. It's a short 5-volume series. It follows a young veterinary assistant with magical powers in a world where everyone is moving on from magic, kind of focusing more on science. So it is a fairly episodic series with each kind of story focusing on another magical beast that she is trying to help and treat. And like it says there, it's Mine and Master's medical journal. So the main veterinarian, he's more focused on the science aspect, where she uses her magic to help also. It gave me similar vibes to Nicola traveling around the demon's world, but nowhere near as good as that series. The artwork, I didn't really care for it that much. It's overly busy and very muddy looking. The characters' hairstyles are, there's a lot going on in the artwork. The characters were fine. I mean, the stories were cute, but nothing really stood out to me. None of the characters were really that engaging, and the plot barely kept my attention. So if it wasn't such a short series, I probably would have dropped it after a couple volumes, but I already had all 5, and I got these for fairly cheap, so it wasn't too much of an investment. But I will not be hanging on to this, so I will be unhauling this series. Next up, we have the Royal Tudor Volume 1. So I randomly bought this at a Barnes & Noble, thinking it was going to be a fairly new series that looked interesting, but it is actually a 17-volume concluded series, and I probably wouldn't have picked it up knowing that. I didn't need another 17-volume series to try to collect. So it is a comedy series about a man who often gets mistaken for a child due to his small size, and he gets a job as a royal tutor where he is supposed to turn the 4 princes into suitable candidates for the throne. So in this first volume, he learns that every previous tutor has quit due to the bizarre personalities of the princes, and we get really funny interactions with him and the princes all throughout this volume, where he tries to use his smarts to outwit them. The artwork is really, it does its job. It's cute. The backgrounds aren't super detailed or anything. But this was a laugh out loud. I laughed out loud multiple times in this. The comedy was really good. It was a great first volume, and I definitely put this on my wish list of a series that I will definitely continue to read and try to pick up in the future. Next up, we have Tombs. This is another in the line of Junji Ito short story collections. This one collects 9 short stories filled with Ito's typical creepiness and fantastic artwork. I've seen a lot of people saying this was the best of the Ito short story collections. I really enjoyed this one, but I'd put it more towards the back half of them. I always enjoy Junji Ito releases, but there were quite a few of the collections that I enjoyed more. Shiver, Smashed. There's just a few more that I enjoyed more than this one. Still really good. If you're a fan of Junji Ito, definitely pick this up. If you are a Junji Ito hater, which are a lot of them out there, this is not going to change your mind. It's, fairly similar to his other stuff, but really good, really worth reading for Ito and horror manga fans. Okay, so the next read was A Favorable Wind on Full Sails. This is another really nice looking Glacier Bay release. It is a short story collection, all by one creator. If you're looking for upbeat, happy stories, this is not it. This features a lot of miserable characters going through kind of mundane and depressing situations. But for fans of Glacier Bay and alternative indie manga, definitely give this one a look. It is, I would say as far as Glacier Bay releases go, probably in the middle for me. Not one of the ones that I would, recommend first to someone looking to get into to this publisher's work, but still enjoyable. The supplemental material in the back was actually some of the most enjoyment I got out of the release, because there's an interview with the creator and then an interview with a friend of the creator who is also a manga creator, who has some very honest things to say about the writer's stories and their art, which I found very fascinating. So if you're a fan of, like I said, if you're a fan of Glacier Bay, definitely check this one out, but not going to be for your average manga fan. Next up, we have The Girl That Can't Get a Girlfriend. This is an autobiographical one-shot about a girl who, as the title suggests, can't get a girlfriend, and then after getting one, and then shortly after breaking up, has a horrible time getting over it. So I tend to read 1 or 2 autobiographical manga a month, and so in a sea of these type of manga, This one really didn't do enough to stand out for me. It was fine. And if you don't read a lot of autobiographical manga, you might connect to this one more than I did. But at least for me, it was just fine. But nothing really too special as far as autobiographical manga goes. But I will be keeping it in my collection. Next up, we have Beast Complex 2. As you know, if you've watched any of my previous videos, I loved Beastars. I love Beast Complex 1, and Beast Complex 2 continues that trend. Just another really great collection of short stories in the Beastar universe. And in this one, we actually get one story that features returning characters from the main series, which was unexpected and awesome. But yeah, this volume, I mean, reading Beast Complex, unless you've already read Beastars, is not, I definitely recommend starting with that series. This is more for fans of the actual Beastars series. But yeah, I'll keep buying these and keep reading these as long as the creator makes them. I really love her artwork. I love the world that she's created, and another fantastic volume. We're going to get to some volume 1s of new series. So first off, we have I'm Kind of Chubby and I'm Your Hero Volume 1. This is the first volume of a very short 2-volume series, and this volume follows our lead, a kind of chubby young actor, struggling to find his way in his theater group, who gets some unexpected fan mail that gives him renewed confidence in his acting skills. So this was a really cute volume, great characters, really nice expressive artwork, as you can tell here by the faces, and yeah, just a really cute setup to a first volume. It wraps up well, but so this could have been a one-shot, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where they go in the second volume and to see how the series concludes. Highly recommended. Next up, we have probably my favorite new volume 1 that I've read in a while, and that is Insomniac's After School Volume 1. This is a new series about 2 high school kids suffering from insomnia who find an abandoned school observatory where they can actually fall asleep in the middle of school. So they pretty quickly get caught, so they have to start an astronomy club so that they can continue to use it. So as a slice of life fan, this one was just fantastic. The 2 leads are great. The plot was interesting. It kept me engaged. And the artwork is really nice. I really like the eyes. Just some really great artwork in this. I really enjoyed this first volume, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Next up, we have The Invisible Man and His Soon-to-Be Wife Volume 1. This is a super cute romance series about an invisible detective who strikes up a romance with a woman at his agency who is blind. So this first volume is kind of the start of the relationship and their interactions with the other employees at the agency. This is a really nice release. It is $14.99, which is a little higher than you would normally get for a release like this, but if you look, the art has this really nice kind of dark, or not dark blue, but like bluish green use in the background. So instead of normally you get white backgrounds, this is all this dark blue, which is really nice. It really adds to it. It makes this book kind of feel unique. And yeah, the small cast of characters were all unique, all full of personality, and these 2 leads are very adorable together. So I will definitely be continuing this one. Another new romance series, we have A Condition Called Love Volume 1. This one follows a high school girl who has no interest in love, who after doing a nice gesture for the most popular boy in school, surprisingly gets asked out by him. So this is pretty standard high school romance stuff, but the thing that's kind of thrown me out the most, the boy is written like a serial killer, so who the female lead should stay very, very far away from. But it's kind of written as like just kind of a cute personality quirk of his, but it's definitely very toxic and kind of disturbing. And I kind of get the feeling that that's not actually going to be part of the story. Like I kept waiting for it to have a dark turn or something like that, but it's just supposed to be, looks like the author just thinks that's a cute kind of thing. So it was hard to get invested in a romance where like you're wanting one of the characters to run far away from the other. So I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with this one. I might wait until I see reactions from other people and how they feel about it. But so far this one's probably on the chopping block. Okay, and lastly, we have Guyabano Holiday by Panpanya. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is a long-delayed release by Panpanya, the creator of An Invitation from a Crab, and this is a semi-autobiographical collection of stories, with Guyabano Holiday being the main story of the collection. It follows our lead as they travel to the Philippines to taste an actual Guyabano fruit after becoming obsessed with the Guyabano juice drink they buy at a convenience store. So I saw someone on Goodreads call this a swirl of surreal and mundane, and I think that pretty perfectly describes both books by Pampania in my opinion. The art style is unique and doesn't look like your standard manga, so it's not going to be for everybody, but I really enjoyed this. I still think I liked An Invitation from a Crab a bit more, but definitely a very solid release. I look forward to reading more of this creator's work in English, so hopefully we get more down the line. Okay, so that was everything I read through in the month of April. If you have any comments or any suggestions of things to read, any disagreements or agreements with what I thought about these books, please let me know in the comments. I really appreciate when I get comments and, you know, people let me know of other things that I should read or things to check out. Definitely enjoy those. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. I do haul videos and reading logs and other types of manga related videos throughout the month. But otherwise, everyone have a great month of May, and we'll see you in the next video.